Hi everyone, I'm Artemisa. Welcome to Plates Full of Goodies. Even though I didn't film in a long time, today I'm making something very special, a 50-layer cake. I'm turning 50 in just a few days on Valentine's Day. Therefore, I want to make it very special. I chose the cake Dobos because it's very chocolatey and amazing. And if you ask already that question, 50-layer cake is even possible? I challenge myself to answer exactly that. So join me and let's see that together. This is 27 centimeters in diameter. I'm not gonna write with a pen or anything. I just want to make sure I have an idea where to stop with it and all of them to be the same. So I'm just gonna sort of make an indent. I can actually cut 10 or 20 in one go and do this. I just made one to show how it's done. So now I'm gonna have an idea how big the layer is. So divided in 7 equal parts. As I did with the layers of the cake, I do the same with the cream, with the filling. I have to repeat the recipe a few times. I have 2 rounds here of the beaten egg on a double boiler. I'm sure I have to do like 4 or 5 times, I'll tell you at the end. So after about 95 eggs, I baked all 50 layers. It took around 8 hours yesterday. With the filling, I repeated 5 times. The recipe and everything is in the box down below. And now I'll start filling in groups of 10 and I'll show you the next step. Each group I put them just around 4 layers, one on top of each other so they don't stick, because even though they're so thin, it can be heavy on the one at the bottom. As you see, I cut the papers to separate them because I cooked them 2 in one go in my big oven. So I put a good portion, but to make sure it's not too much, not too thick. Just about that much is perfect. Just like that. And now I'm gonna flip the other one on top of it to be easier to take it out. And very, very gentle, peel it off. Like that. And I'll do in lots of 10 and I'll show you next. So it's pretty much this easy. Even though this cake seems to be intimidating, it's really not that hard. So I have 9 layers so far. Now I put the 10th layer. This layer I don't put anything on top because, as I said, I pack them in freezer for a day or so until they're really frozen, just wrapped in plastic. I'll take off the bottom layer and I'll just keep on making them in group of 10. Later on I put them all 50 together, they all frozen, because my goal will be to cut it frozen so they all stay, because as you see the cream is quite soft, but I really wanted this cake, I love it so much. So frozen is going to be the way out of them falling apart and, you know, give me trouble. Like this. I peel this off, I don't need this anymore. So I'll go a few times around. Very gentle so I don't break anything. As you see, all the layers are finished. I packed them, put them in freezer. These ones, I'm not gonna throw them away. I'll let them dry a few days like this, outdoor somewhere, and just powder them, blend them whatever, and put them at my compost because they're very, very good for gardening. As you see, I put layers. I help myself with some cake stands and whatever you have in your cupboard to help yourself make layers so they don't stay on top of each other, because they can be very heavier on the other layer. So yeah, this will be the best way to keep them. All the 5 packs, by next day they're all frozen, and now my attempt is to unwrap them all. I'll start with the bottom with a square one, so it's going to be easier to pick it up. And my attempt will be to put all the 5 packs on top of each other. At this point, you can put support through them, any whatever support you have. My goal is to not put any support, because that's pretty much gonna ruin the slice of the cake. Could be a hole here or there. I don't want that. I want like the perfect slice on the universe. So I'm trying to have them with no support. As long as my cake stay frozen, should be good. So let's unwrap them all. At this point, this is pretty much like a wafer. The leftover filling, I beat it up with the mixer a little bit, but it's still tough, as you see. I do not want too soft, because these layers are frozen. This fresh here is not frozen, and I'm intending to put 5 layers on top of each other, 5 packs actually on top of each other, and that will make it very heavy and probably move this way or this way, which I really don't want. So that's why I move fast with this base first. I pretty much put the same as I put in the other layers. Now let's see how this is gonna hold. It's my first time in my life doing that many layers, so probably also the last. There we go. And now the third. And the fourth. And the fifth. Doesn't really matter about the edges, because later, after this is frozen and all together, I'll straighten up from up down all the layers. Just a little bit of crumb coat on top. Now I'm just gonna wrap it up. I think that's about enough here. Now let's see how heavy that is and if I can do it. My goodness, that must be, I can do it, but that must be around 5-6 kilos. That's just a wild guess. But you know what? I'll actually want to put it on a scale and see how many kilos. I'll tell you later. Finally in freezer, I had to call Big Muscles And I'll leave this in freezer another pretty much 24 hours. My cake is frozen, ready to go, so I'm pretty much shaving the excess or the imperfections. Just pretty much shaved like that, and the cake is ready for the first crumb coat. So just like that, filling up everything. The crumb coat is done. I'm gonna put it in freezer 20 minutes, 30 minutes. My second layer is a sponge technique. Pretty much you can dip it in or put cream on top and just go around all the way around the cake until it's all done. And I'm gonna do the same with the rest. This technique is very easy. It's just time consuming. As you see, in few minutes it's done everywhere. I'll show you later why I chose this technique. The sponge technique, now it's tough and ready to go. I choose this technique because I'll decorate it with nuggets. I put them like this, and I'll put the crown on top because now she's got gold and she's the queen. So I'm just gonna design the lane roughly where I want to go with the nuggets, just like this. I'm going to pipe the top of the cake and attach the crown to it. So I'm just going to pipe little bumps on the top and the edges. Just piping the top. I'm pretty much doing the same at the bottom. My plate is quite limited because the cake is huge. So just little plumps. So it is. I just want to make sure the cake is centered. This is clean, ready to go. And I just put it sort of to make sure it's in the middle. I pressed in the little brushes. With the nuggets, I'll dip a little bit in chocolate, and I'm to follow this line. I'll do all of it all the way down. As I realize, I don't have to actually dip them in chocolate. I just have to stick them. Press them a little, because the chocolate, the filling is already good enough, it's holding them. Now I'm going to do the same at the bottom, just very little, very small ones. The very last piece. This is beautiful, and it's finished. Every queen needs a golden cake. The happy day is here. The cake is ready to go. The party is in full swing. I remove the crown and I'll have an attempt of cutting through all the 50 layers. I'm excited and scared. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit tough, but I think with a bit of force, I'll go through it. I cut through with a little effort. Not too bad, so I don't have to leave it to defrost. So I'm attempting the second part. I had to put some pressure on it to cut it, both sides. So let's see if I can actually get it out. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I go through it with a different knife. Hopefully this did a bit better. Let's see if I can actually get the slice out now. Whoa, it's actually coming up. Yay! Beautiful. As I said earlier, I let the eggshell dry and then I put them through food processor, process them about 3 times, 3 rounds. I ended up using 100 eggs exactly. And now this will go to the compost.